welcome to the brewery. Tasting this fella. This beer was this close off not getting tasted. Well, there you go. My rebrew on the smoked amber. This is a revisit of the beer I did last Australia Day, the Beer Monsters Recoverale, red gum smoked amber malt, smoked amber ale. I rebrewed this as part of the Year of Beer Brews, and while I'd done it, I was looking at revising the recipe, playing around a little bit, because it was a beer I was hoping, potentially looking at doing out at Buller Creek, sort of pushing into autumn, a beer like an autumn leading into early summer type of brew. So I pulled it out because this was quite a heavy beer originally. I'll link up videos and tastings on the original Recoverale. So this time around, I was looking to bring this down a bit more approachable for your average day drinker. It wasn't necessarily aimed specifically at me for drinking, but what's happened is I've forgotten I hadn't done a video on this, and I've just gone through. I'm looking at catching up on some videos, and went, hang on, I've not done a taste on this. And what's happened? I've actually pulled this beer out of the fridge, because I've been shuffling stuff around, and I needed a keg. I've got two extract lagers, the dry extracts, in the fridge, which are ready to keg, and I'm short a keg. So I pulled it out and I've dumped what was left in the keg. There was probably, I don't know, it might have been 7 or 8 bloody schooners left. Maybe 3 litres left in the keg. And I've dumped it. And I've just realised, shit, I haven't done a fucking tasting video on this bloody beer. And it just occurred to me, I have this bottle. This is a bottle I actually I took this off the keg and took it to Adelaide with me down the Barossa. And I was going to share with the boys, just get the boys' opinion on what they thought of it overall. And we didn't get around to drinking it, and it stayed in the car, and it came home with me. It was in my fridge, and it came back. So I'm going to crack it. So this beer has been, we're doing two things. We're going to test out what this beer's like, A, and B, how it's held up in a PET bottle after being poured off the keg. What was close enough to a month ago. 4 weeks was the weekend of the 13th to the 17th of June that we were in the Barossa, so it's been a month. So let's see how we go. Well, there's a little bit of a hiss. We've got a bit of smoke. That's a good sign. Got some nice carb there going on in the bottle, so that's positive. It's going to be hard to tell if it's been oxidised at all, because it's sort of got quite a copperish tone anyway. But to me, that sort of looks like what I remember it pouring like. God, the things that happen. I don't know how bloody near this one. Yeah, so this was just simply poured straight off the tap, like the night before we left. So we'll call it, I'm going to call it like 31 days or something. 32 days has been in that bottle. So interesting tester. It's bloody well carbonated, that's for sure. Didn't think it was that bloody carbonated, but so she bounced around the back of the car. She may have had a little bit of re-agitation. First thing you're getting is just that smoky nose. It's always that's the first thing you get on this beer, always. Colour's nice. Let's let's find some numbers on this fella, and I think I'm going to have to dive into, yeah, sorry, I'm going to have to dive into bloody Brew Father again. I wasn't quite ready for this. Brew Father will have the details. Let's get in there. While we're doing that, let's get the that smokiness is like at the forefront. It's the first thing you're getting. It's sort of the last thing you're getting. Okay, so the recipe. Okay, original gravity was 1048. Finished at 1012 for an ABV of 4.7. Is that right? 1048, 1012, 4.7%. Yep. What I did, and again, it's been the video. The actual brew day video will be more accurate. But I think I took the specialty malts and pulled them back by, might have been 10% or 20% of the original amounts, just to pull it back. Left the smoked malt at the same level. Yeah, so the smoked malt, the red gum is 4% of the brew, and I think, yeah, I said I'm pretty sure it was 5% on the original. So yeah, I think all the specialties, there's caramel light, there's cara wheat, cara munich, some SM40. All that stuff was pulled back about 20% overall, and replaced with, yeah, the base malt, bulk of which was Voyager, Pale Compass, and some Latrobe just to keep it down a little bit. Simcoe for bittering, a bit Eldorado and Amarillo late in the boil, and some Citra as well. Everything in the boil, nothing post boil. IBU to 31. And this is a bloody nice beer. It's, like I said, it hasn't got the depth of the original beer, but as it sits, it's very approachable. It's a bit, like I said, it's a bit lighter on the depth of the malt than that, for a winter beer. But I said this was intended to be a mid to late autumn beer where the weather's warming up. It's not necessarily, you know, the campfire brew that last year's version was, despite the fact I brewed it in the middle of January. It was more for leading, you know, out of spring into winter. This is more coming the other way. It's preparing, you know, for summer coming, getting rid of the end of those, you know, deeper, bigger beers that keep us comforted through winter, you know, and just get us preparing for summer. And I'm happy with how it sits. I think the smokiness, the actual flavour from the smoked malt is not quite as intense as it was in the previous version, and not just because there's less of it, but it doesn't quite have the intensity. And obviously this is, you know, malt was, you know, 18 months old, and I think that's having a telling impact. It doesn't quite have that deep bacony cooked campfire bacon cooking smell and flavour that it did initially, and I think that's just holding off a little bit. The smoke comes across more, especially once your palate adjusts that first mouthful or two, where that smoke is fairly intense, as it is with any smoked beer. Until you get that little bit of adjustment, yeah, that smoke is overpowering. The smoke settles to just a nice little sweetness against the palate, which is just working really, really nice. This is it's really developed into a nice beer. It's held up incredibly well in that bottle. How much longer it would have gone for, who knows. But right now, it's presenting a beer I'd be incredibly happy to provide to people in, like I said, mid-autumn, getting into September and leading into the end of the year. So it's a lovely looking beer, a beautiful beautiful coppery, deep orange bronze tones. Well, the hops are playing really nicely. They're just backing up the sweetness. There's no real evidence of the hops on their own. They're just sitting, holding the whole thing together. Like, they're there. You know they're there, but you can't really pick them out. Really, really happy with that. Like I said, if you never brewed a smoked beer, maybe you're a bit intimidated by them, maybe they scare you a little bit, maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to waste a batch of beer on something that's I'm not going to like. I say give it a go. I get it's like sours, it's like it's like fruited beers, barrel aged. It's not going to work for everybody, but I think as a brewer, it's certainly something you should look at playing with at least once. To at least experience, and try to appreciate what that smoked malt does bring to a beer. It's not something you get too often. You can't just walk down to the average old bottle shop and find a smoked beer. They're not common. They're hard to find. It's worth having a go at. There you are. That's it. I give it a thumbs up. I'm a bit pissed now that I bloody got rid of the rest of the keg. Something had to go. Sacrifices had to be made. This is the back end of Twang Files coming out, because I've been so many bloody brews that I've got in the kegs and had to hold in kegs for a long enough time. So I'm hoping Twang Files is near done. I can get back into a normal sort of run with my kegs, not have to be doing this sort of thing. But sacrifices sometimes need to be made for the better good, the common good, all that sort of nonsense. But anyway, that's it. If you got any comments or any questions, stick them down the bottom. Thumbs up to all the Patreons, guys. Thank you as always for your support. If you're interested in Patreon, there's a link down below. Click on that, have a look. If you're subscribed to the channel, thank you. If you aren't subscribed, consider subscribing. It helps out. And give me a thumbs up if you'd like the video. But for me, I'm done. I'm gonna go that way, finish this fella as I go. So until I see you in the next video, when we're brewing beer, drinking beer, or talking beer. Good smoky brewing. Johnny Cash would fucking like that. I fell into a burning ring of fire.